Hello and welcome to World Talks. With me here, Anna Kalczynska. Another Russian drone attack on multiple regions of Ukraine called into question the ongoing peace process brokered by the United States. Although Donald Trump expects a peace deal to be reached this very week, nothing seems to indicate his wish could turn into reality. Joining me now to unpack the state of the ongoing negotiations and the situation on the ground in Ukraine is Maria Ionova, Ukrainian Member of Parliament from European Solidarity Party. Good evening, madam. Good morning, madam. Sorry.
Good morning.
So the Easter is over, and apparently the truce in Ukraine is over as well. On Sunday night, as we learned, Russia launched yet another drone attack on multiple Ukrainian regions. But at the same time, somehow, the negotiations are ongoing. So what do you make of this strategy?
First of all, you said that Trump would like to have peace. Believe me, I just came back from frontline. I was in Sumy region and Kupiansk region, and I can confirm that no one desires peace more than Ukraine and Ukrainian people. And this, but also when we have discussed with military guy, this peace must not be at any price. And that is why President Trump, yes, he, as I mentioned that before in your program, he has created this window of opportunities. But what is important is not, merely achieving a ceasefire, but attaining genuine settlement. So it's a sustainable and just peace. So it shouldn't be some fake peace. And also, we shouldn't forgotten, especially our partners, that really the aggressor is Russia and Ukraine is the victim. And it should be understood that the primary responsibility lies in Moscow, not Kyiv. So the key is in Moscow. And that is why when you ask me about the Easter truth, confirmed that Putin can have halt the war with a single order. He can do it. Therefore, it should not be interpreted as an act, of goodwill by Russia. It is a confirmation that the keys to ending the war are in Moscow, and we could feel in different regions of Ukraine the true idea of Putin just to erase us from the world map, because that the attacks of drones have been also, we had all these drones not only on the Easter but before Easter, and yesterday also we had it. And also in Ukraine there is full awareness of how deceitful the enemy is, and outwardly Putin really may speak of peace, but his true objective in Ukraine is solely war. So we can feel it with the air sirenes. Yeah. And when you ask me about the negotiations, which are going after Paris, London, which we expect next, all parties engaging in these meetings are really united. We see it by one goal: ending the war, especially, of course, Ukraine. But there is no need to pursue these parties of the importance of moving forward. And that is why I think that it now should be acts. So sanctions, more strength, more language of strengths, and that Ukraine also has to get weapon to defend, air defense, of course. And that is why the principle and the strategy, Europe and Ukraine, and we hope, Americans, peace through strengths. So lacks an element of compliance for peace.
This is certainly not the philosophy.
Sorry, compellence. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, of Russian and Americans. We see it, but we have to work.
The peace through strength is certainly not a strategy endorsed by Washington, although one may wonder where does the key to the solution lie, whether is it Washington or Kremlin, as you said yourself. Well, the ceasefire, according to President Zelensky, was violated over 3,000 times. So what could be the consequence of the Russian unilateral break-in, the stated Easter ceasefire? Has there been any word of condemnation from Washington?
That is why when you mentioned Rubio and Trump quote, that both sides, so we have to work more, and Americans also has to realize that the decision is in Moscow and in Washington, and more tough signals to Russians. And again, if Trump's window of opportunity is not for peace, and he would like to, to weaken international pressure on Moscow, it will not work. That is why I hope that Washington will realize that he should be more language of strength to Moscow. And believe me, we all seek peace and wish success to the strategy chosen by Trump. Of course, we want to finish the war as soon as possible. However, we see if Russia continues to create such artificial obstacles and play with the lives of Ukrainians, there must be a plan B, as also, by the way, Trump has mentioned.
Exactly. So let me ask you about this one. What is the plan B? What if the negotiation process breaks down? Should the U.S. give up the intermediary role in place in the peace talks? Who do you think should take the lead?
Of course, all the Western free world should take the lead. Europe, in coordination, USA, Europe, and Ukraine. Because we are all interested to restore, have to be interested to restore international order and to stop aggressor in Ukraine. And what is needed is not a U.S. Withdrawal from the peace process. Of course, we don't need this, but leadership from Washington with double or even triple resolve to compel Russia to peace. Unfortunately, we haven't heard the list of Plan B. But I think that we, all media, civil society, we as parliamentarians, we have to work together and to press American administration also to the evidence of Russia terror, genocide action with our people. I can tell you I was in Sumy, and you cannot imagine when you see also these destroyed, broken toys, and you can imagine how many children also have been killed, and people who were just walking on the streets in, by the way, 1 week ago before the Easter. So that is why Russian religion is not the ceasefire, it's a war and to kill people. And in this regard, altogether, we have to be united in our strategy to have the strategy peace through the strengths, and then the whole components which we are discussing. Unfortunately, more than 11 years as when the Russian aggression has been started.
All right, so let me ask this question about the resilience of the society, and quickly, as we must wrap up. What are the options Kiev is left with? Months of inflicted terror for the Ukrainian civilians and heavy fighting on the ground. So how much more can the society endure?
Probably I will share with you with the mood of our soldiers and military guys on the front line. And I can tell you that spirit is good and high, because they realize that if they will not fight, we will not exist, and the enemy will move forward. Because it is obvious that Putin, he doesn't need 4 regions. He needs the whole Ukraine, and then he will go to restore the borders of 1997. That is why we are trying to do our best. I can, of course, say that we have our internal problems, especially with some respect to opposition and to a leader of opposition. But again, anyway, we are all united to defend, to protect Ukraine, to work together with our partners to have more sanctions, to get more weapons, because I can tell you that Russians, they are very increasing the production of drones, of different kinds of weaponry. So they are working very hard. And the signals also from military that they do not see that Russians will stop.
Thank you so much, Mariia Ionova.
Resources.
Thank you very much, as we must end this conversation. Thank you so much for being with us and for joining. Maria Ionova, Ukrainian MP, European Solidarity, was our guest. Thank you very much for watching World Talks. And News Bulletin is coming up next.